she remembers. And I just wanted to show you another piece of one of my students. She was a Turkish artist, and she studied with me. And she came with this piece, which I really think is wonderful. It's, you know, it's very simple. It's a piece which tells everything about restrictions, about Muslim country, about feminism, about everything. Okay, we go back to the other tape, please, and we take number 20. So this is how I actually have a numerous the collection of the head performing, how the head can become instrument, because in the performance, body is object and the subject of the work. So now let's go to feet. I have two examples with the feet. One example is Pina Bausch, who is the greatest choreographer and dancer. Two men dancing tango and actually talking about life itself. It's about relationship. Sound, please. More sound. More sound. Too much. And another example, it's Same artist which we saw in the beginning, Lucia Mudit-Pali, the young artist who made the piece with the head. She made this other piece. 22, please. The feet. Oh, we don't have 22. What is 22? Feet, 20. Oh, okay, we don't have 22. Fine, we don't show. All right, so we're going to go to chest. So the chest now. So the chest, it's so difficult to find the work using breasts not to be pornographical. And I found actually only one, I think. And this is 27. 27, please. And is the young, don't, wait, can you stop till I explain? It's a young dancer who taped the camera on the stomach and went to the forest and invited her public to follow her as a chase of the animal for 4 hours and become this amazing dance, like she really become that animal that you are actually chasing. So that's the dance as a chase, okay? Play 27. She's from Holland, Susan Omen. Right, and so now we come to the hands, arm. So the only one piece I can ever think about is the most kind of very to the point piece is a Chris Burden, The Shot. So in the early 70s, Chris Burden was one of the most radical performance artists at the time here in America. And the shot piece, which is incredibly interesting, is also the question of documentation. In the early 70s, the artists were so poor, and especially performance artists, they never could sell the work or do anything with that. And so he didn't even have the camera to record properly this piece that you could never repeat again, because you can't be shot twice in the arm as an artwork. So he just had a few seconds of Super 8 camera and the sound recording. So all what you see is that. And this is, from documentation point of view, extremely interesting. Okay, 32.
In Shoot, I'm shot in the upper left-hand arm by a friend of mine with a .22 rifle. The only visuals I have of this piece is a very short film clip, about 8 seconds long. So I'm going to begin the piece with an audio tape that was made during the actual performance. In the audio tape, some of the things to listen for are, do you know where you're going to stand, Bruce? Then later, right before the film clip happens, you'll hear me say, are you ready? Then you'll hear the clicking of the Super 8 camera. Later, after the clip is over, another thing to listen for is the sound of the empty shell dropping on the concrete floor. Okay, so I think we could go right into the audio tape.
quite amazing to see with all the technology these days, how that actually looks so kind of almost sweet and naive. And you know, in the old, it's very interesting how actually, if you think about 70s material, this grainy Bruce Nauman old works, and his technology was so kind of limited and poor, and they were the great work of art. And now you can see the real big bullshit with incredible glossy cameras, and everything is so incredibly high tech. But doesn't mean that piece gets better because you just use better equipment. Anyway, so the stomach. Can we go 36? The stomach is just my own. Can you play? So it was very simple. As I came from, ex-Yugoslavia, the 5-point star was on my birthday certification. It was, on the caps of my mother and father, who would be national heroes in Tito time. It was everywhere. And I had the feeling, and somehow I was like I wanted to get rid of this. And to get rid of this, I carved 2 stars on my stomach. One with a 1 point up, another one with 2 points up. So there was I felt positive and negative star, pentagram and the real normal 5-point star, which kind of negate the power of that star on me. That's how I said. In those days, razor was a pencil and the blood was color. And we didn't actually question pain. Pain was not the issue. The idea was that the body is the tool and material, and performance was a tool to say something. So, as you see, I'm in pretty good health in front of you, so if I cut my stomach, it was fine. It was in the purpose of performance in those days. And to get rid of fear of cutting, of pain. The Valley expert said once about her work, she's in Vienna, she said, if I really cause pain to myself in order to get rid of pain, of fear of pain, pain is okay. And this is the whole idea, how we can control pain, how we can actually get somewhere else, that our mind actually have strength enough to overcome that pain. Old cultures knew so many techniques about that, all the Asian, Africans, the Aborigines, the Tibetans, knew that using the body to the point almost to clinical dying situations in the very violent rituals in order to have a situation they can actually jump to another state of mind, to transcend the physical body and to alter a state of consciousness. So the performance in our Western society could be one of the tools to achieve that. And in the beginning, I need to do all these things to come to the point, like in Artist is Present performance, where it was on the last, months, not even the table between me and spectator. It was just 2 chairs and gaze. But because of learning all that before, I could do that, not before I made this road, like this stomach piece. Okay, so eyes. Let's go to eyes. Eyes, we have 2 eyes. I'm going to show you just, again, 38. This is my own eye. The idea was here, eye as a landscape. How we can have the eye as a lake, or as a, ocean, or with anything else. Sound? What's happening? Wow. This collapse, very interesting.